and welcome to my favourite and least favourite films of the year. I'm going to do a discussion with Firefly, linked down below, about Wolverine versus Man of Steel, so when that's up, it'll be done. But, I've got to talk about my least favourite and favourite films of the day, so I'll start with my least favourite first. So, these may not be like technically the worst films ever, or just these are the sort of things that really got my goat. Things that I saw. Now, there may be films that I didn't see. I didn't see Scary Movie 5, for instance, or The Lone Ranger, so they won't be on that list. Or After Earth, I didn't see After Earth. Oh no, it's not. No, I did see it. So I do apologise, but number 5 is R.I.P.D. I know that this was like number 1 on Andrew's list, or Firefly's list, but I didn't hate it as much as he did because it's just a very back knockoff. I didn't really think that it was really that bad. I do think there's problems with it. I mean, like the theology in this film is really messed up because the Deadites, as they're called, aren't fussed about crucifixes, God, whatever. It's spicy food, so you can't fight it with a crucifix, but you can fight it with an Indian takeaway. Makes sense to me, I suppose. Number 4, Iron Man 3. I'm sorry, I like the other two Spider-Man films, but this was poor. It's a great villain, like Mandarin, and turns him into the hero of the 9/11 conspiracy theorist acts. He's this guy who, is this actor, and he's been manipulated by Guy Pearce, who's acting all like a campy James Bond villain. Well, that was part of my master plan, Mr. Stark. It's like, stop it! Stop! Please stop now. Right. Number 3. A Good Day to Die Hard, or Die Hard 5, or whatever we want to call it, is shit on a shingle. It is poor. And then some. I hated this film. I loved the first 3 Die Hard. Even 4 I can sort of get behind. But this is shite. I mean, it takes John McClane, one of the great heroes of our time. He's just a working class guy who just happens to get himself into these awkward situations, and basically turns it into John Cena. It's like, you can throw rocket launches at him and he wouldn't die. He's supposed to be a normal guy who just gets him deep, and just happens to be in the right place at the wrong place at the right time, or whatever the terminology is. He isn't like a superhero. He's not that. And the thing is that since this, Bruce Willis, I used to be a fan. I really did used to be a fan. But then stuff started coming out about him and the way he acts around Red 2 and this. It's like, even if you don't like the film you promote, you at least be professional. I mean, Bruce, you used to be good and now you're an arse. Everybody, you're going to go to a point where nobody's going to want to work with you. I mean, Kevin Smith tells stories about people going, "Oh, he was just shooting a shit film," but I don't think that's it anymore. I think you've just got an attitude problem that you need to get sorted, and get sorted quick. So that's my number 3. My number 2 is Lordy, Grown Ups 2. I hated Grown Ups 2. I hate Adam Sandler, and I hate the attitude, which is I'm a man child. Right. I'm 30. I'm going to turn 32 this year. If I acted like this when I was 32, I'd be like, humanity would start stepping around to me, start stepping away. This guy's in his 50s, if not in his 50s, and he's still acting like this petulant man child. Oh, down there, penguin! God, shut up! I know people can say, "Oh, well, that's his entire joke, is he's a man child." Well, he's got kids. He's supposed to be a parent to them. I understand that guys, that parents, when they interact with kids, like to act a bit younger to to interact with their kids. But you can't act like that all the time. You've got to take responsibility once in your life. And I'm sorry, I hate I hate grown-ups, and I hate Adam Sandler when he acts like this, because Adam Sandler has talent. He really does. If you look at, like, I'm not even saying Happy Gilmore, look at Point of Drug Love. That shows he has talent. God. And then number one, the film that I put as one of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. Movie 43. Now, I struggle to call it a film because it's not a film. It's basically a bunch of skits. I'm going to have to go through the skits for you because it is poor. So the first skit, from what I remember, was Hugh Jackman and Kate Winslet go on date. Which is fine. I'm like, okay, I'm into this. And then the joke is, he's got balls on his chin. What's the joke? He's got balls on his chin. So, I don't find that funny. The guy's got a disability and she can't handle it. Well, then he should be going out with the fucking guy. She's a fucking... Sorry, I'm trying to keep my calm. But this film just really pulls it out on me. So we got that. He got cream on my balls and... ow. What did they pay you, Chew? Good out, you're making enough money with the Wolverine films to tell it to go away. The next one after that is Naomi Watts and Lee Schreiber, who are a couple in real life, apparently. Make this really awkward joke about this kid being homeschooled. And then, like, they do everything that's done in high school, which is, like, they haze the guy, you know. They pull his shower back and say, look at this guy's weird wiener, you know, denying him entrances to parties, have him make out with his mum, and have a weird homoerotic scene with his dad. What the hell am I watching? So this isn't funny. This is a no galaxy of funny. Like this is the point where I start to get offended. Like the second, this exact second thing when they start to do the jokes about the incest jokes and the gay jokes, is the part when I start to get really offended, because like I'm not trust me, I'm not easy to offend. I sat through the entire running time of a Serbian film. Trust me, I could sit through this, but I think this is more offensive because at least the Serbian film was. At least I think it was trying to say something about maybe Serbian politics, maybe their history isn't the best when it comes to human rights record. Okay, I can tolerate that. This has no point. It is just stupid skits. Right, so what's after that? So I'm going to have to try and remember these off the top of my head. I believe it's the one with Kieran Culkin and Emma Stone, who should be better stuff than this. Basically, this is one of the few ones that actually made me titter a little bit because they were funny in it. The jokes weren't funny, but they were funny. It's the whole thing of, well, you know, any actor can make something funny. Well, you know, these two actors do their best with this dialogue where where they're going, "Will you give a blowjob to an old man?" and all this sort of stuff. It's just like, but I can laugh at it because it's them delivering it. So. Kudos to you guys for making that bit work, because if it's other actors, it wouldn't have. It would die to death like everything else. Then the scene after that is... I'm having to remember this. The scene after that is... what is it? Is it Anna Ferris? Yeah, it's Anna Ferris and her real life husband apparently. And... he's going to ask her to marry her, but she instead wants him to defecate on her. So, sorry, just remember this film just hurts a lot. So, 1, no. 2, it. Right, and he goes to his friends and goes, "Oh, she wants me to poo on her. What should I do?" "Oh, you totally poo on her." What's a joke? So I don't find pooing people funny. I don't find defecation funny. This is childish. This is toddler humour. Poo, 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 poo. It's like, stop it. Then after that, we have Johnny Knoxville and Sean William Scott in the scene where Gerard Butler's playing in Leprechaun. And he's there going, oh, you're not getting to my pot of gold. Trust me, my accent's a lot better than Gerard Butler. And I apologise to any Irish person watching for that accent. But trust me, when I say that my accent is better than Gerard Butler's, I'm not joking. His accent's like, you know, Scottish. He goes, baby good! And then they have to like, digitally... Let's put it this way. Warwick Davis was more convincing as an Irishman in bloody Leprechaun. And then the joke is, and this is the joke, and the one time I actually sort of laughed a little bit, but I laughed more at the bloopers, was when they open the door and it's this fairy says, I give blowjobs for gold coins. Right, and in the bloopers, right, this is the funniest line that's in the film, I swear to God. Johnny Knoxville turns to Sean Scott and goes, so do I. Now that is funny. And then, what's after that? There is an advert for the iBabe, which is a joke on the iPod, I says. And people are doing like the dancing that they did in the original iPod video. You're doing that. While dancing around this naked woman who's got iPod stuff in the stomach. Now, and then it cuts to a board meeting, which they're meeting because apparently teenage boys have been putting their schlong near it, but it's got a vent in its vaginal port. What's the joke? Sorry, I'm going to say that a lot in this, sorry. But it's not funny. It's not even coarse, it's just stupid. But what company in the history of wood would make a sound system that the whole thing about the iPod is that you're supposed to carry it around. I can imagine going on the bus and you're going, excuse me, sir, love. Did it while you're having this bloody naked woman next to you. Like, God. And then Kate Bosworth's in this scene. It's like, Kate, you should be better stuff than this. And then the worst thing about it is that Richard Gere's in it. Richard Gere, the guy from American Gigolo, the guy from Breathless, the guy from like Chicago, the guy from all the great stuff he's ever been in. Officer and Gentleman, you know, American Gigolo, all this stuff, and he's in this crap. And like thinking, Richard, what did they pay you? You should take it back and go. You should go and get a charity do. I mean, like, this is the point I started to feel ashamed of watching this, because I'm like thinking, I'm watching Richard Gere doing a joke about a basically dead-eyed woman's vaginal unit. Like, God, it's just so poor. Then the one after that was Chloe Grace Moretz, who's another actress who I like. Her and McLovin and somebody else. She's making up with somebody else, and then like, oh look, she's had a bloody period. And then people freak out. I'm sorry, but this was really offensive to me. This particular one was really offensive because, right, I live with two women. I understand how periods work. I think most men who live in the 21st century know how periods work. I'm sorry. This is one of the most... I know this was directed... most of these were directed by men, but this... Actually, no, this was directed by William Banks, which makes it worse because it's sexist as hell. I find this offensive as a man. You know, as a man, I don't have a problem that women have periods. You know why? Because they have periods! Most men know that women have periods. We live in the 21st century. Do you not think we have the internet now so we know how periods work? Fuck me! Sorry, I get very ranty when I talk about this film. Then the next bit is Stephen Merchant and Halle Berry on her next career success, going on a blind date, and instead of doing the usual things do when people go truth or dare, and they go around doing the stupidest thing ever that nobody in the world would ever do. Like one of them has a tattoo with a penis put on. One of them has big breast enlargements. One of them has ethnic racial alterations to make him look more oriental. This is offensive on many levels. It's racist. It's blatant racism. It's blatant not homophobia, but there is homophobia in it. It's just the most coarse thing I've seen in quite some time. Then, is it the last one? Yeah, I think it is. There's more to this. I can't be bothered to remember what it is. I think it's Terrence Howard doing the joke of, well, we should win because we're black and they're white. More racism! More fucking racism! Fuck me! Have you ever heard of Larry Bird or any of the white or oriental players who play in the NBA? And play to a pretty good standard. It's not just black people who play there, it's white people as well. And so the white people are in the Hall of Fame, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ! I didn't know we could make these jokes anymore. It's like didn't the 1970s and 60s happen when we thought that these jokes weren't funny anymore? Then we have the credits, right? Now the story that I saw was the European version, which was it's just basically bozo kids looking on the internet for jokes, for the rudest film ever made or something, right? And they find these clips. Now I've been told in America it doesn't work like that. It is Dennis Quaid. Dennis, as a fan of yours, why did you choose this film? Really? I mean, I love you. You're in a space, you're in Frequency, you're in The Rookie, you're in Big Easy, you're in all this other stuff. And what the fuck made you think that this was a good choice? It's like pitching these ideas and like, this is what I do, and this is what I do, and this is what I do. What the frig? And then the Boomers got one of the worst ones. Here's the break, right? Elizabeth Banks, and I think it's and whoever who plays her, I think it's Josh Duhamel, but I hope it isn't because I actually like him. Is living with a cartoon cat, and Elizabeth finds out that cartoon cat wants to kill her because he has a crush on Josh Duhamel. Right, she's panicking. She gets run over and gets killed, and the skit ends with the guy making out with a cartoon cat. Ha! Ha! This is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, I would say it was disgusting, but that's an understatement for what it is. It is one of the worst things I've ever had to see. Ever. And I do really mean this. It is worse than a Serbian film in how offended I was by it. At least with a Serbian film, it was just there to shock me. It didn't out there just shock me to my core that we are still allowed to make some of these jokes. It really did. Rant about that. Over now to my favourite films. Number 5, Good Vibrations. It's a story about the Irish punk scene, what there's in there. It's about teenage kids, which is a song that does tend to get overplayed, but I love it. It's one of those songs you just think, thank you God, for having that in my life. Number 4, Rush. I really like that because I really like the They don't do it, and it actually makes a sport that maybe not a lot of people like do it. Number 3, Fall the Dark World. I don't like that. So my parents really liked it. Number 2, and I'm going to hate Man of Steel. Just because it actually brought us Superman. And brought it back. I just hope that they develop more of the character in number 2. Number 1, Gravity. It's 3D movie that made me forget I was watching 3D. I know it's a bit like a roller coaster, but I didn't care. I loved it. I thought it was great. It's one of those films you're just like, this is beautifully shot, and it's just one of those films you just think, this is why movies exist. And I think that there may be a case somebody could make for 3D, but I think this was the next one. Anyway, this is Phoneybeetlemaniacxs, 4 Dreams, Mega Drew, out.